Hey, how's everybody doing today? So I got a lot of positive reviews out of the first Micro Galaxy weathering I did. I did the Starfighter here, Anakin Starfighter from episode 1. Did it a little battle weathered, gave it some blaster marks there. First time I ever really did anything like this. A lot of people liked it, so I was like, you know what, let's try some more. One of my favorite characters in the prequels is Mace Windu. Big fan of Samuel L. Jackson. Love like just the scenes he's in. Also love the Jedi Starfighters. Basically, like that all the Jedi seem to have. The Micro Galaxy one of Mace Windu's, purple and gray, kind of flat colors. It's nice for a toy, but I had some ideas how to make it look a little cooler. So we got the video here for you guys. I hope you guys like it. Just let me know in the comments if you're enjoying these videos. I do have a couple more ships I was planning on doing. But yeah, here's the video. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so let's give another shot at one of these micro machines, and like we did with the N1, let's ignore all aspects of collector value and rip this thing to shreds. Get all this packaging out of the way and have a look at it. It's Mace and his little droid up here. Alright, so let's take a look. We got it's cool, but it's a toy. That's in just flat gray, basic purple. It's not bad, but we're going to do better. So we got this color shift paint here. It'll transition from blue to purple depending on how the light hits it. Then we got this silver metallic paint. It's one of the ones we used on the N1. It's really pops. And then this black acrylic is what we're going to use for the wash. We're going to mix it with some water, and that's what's really going to bring out the details of the plane. So now we're going to get out some painter's tape and we're going to cover up the purple spots, but I don't feel like making you guys watch all of this meticulous stuff, so the power of editing, we will skip right to me finishing this all up. And boom, there you go. All done and ready to paint. So let's get some of the purple here and we're going to go ahead and get going on getting this all painted up. And as you're painting this, you just want to make sure you kind of push in deep because there's all these little like lines, and you want to be able to paint, but you want to make sure you don't get anything clumped in there because those lines we're going to be filling in later with the acrylic wash. So yeah, there's like little lines back here. There's little parts underneath of the wings, these little flaps. You just want to get it all. I'm just going to use part of the packaging here to set this up here so that we can have kind of a little base to work on, because we do have some little details here to get. And this is actually a little editing trick. Again, we're skipping ahead to the second coat, and the bottom we didn't do on the first coat just so it didn't get all stuck and gross to the plastic thing here that we had to sit it on. So while we get the top dried, and get these side parts here first. And then, like I said, the little areas there in between the ship and the cockpit, there's a little bit that needs to be painted in there. And now we were just skipping ahead to the second coat here. And you see we're painting the bottom, and we're just going to go ahead and paint over everything on the bottom. All the silver parts are kind of lifted, so it shouldn't be a problem to like go in later and paint back over them. So yeah, just save yourself some time and some meticulous cutting and just paint over the bottom. Just, it'll be fine, trust me. Give it a seat there. Just kind of work in some more of these details. And the thing is with this paint, the more coats you get on, the more that like transitional purple to blue is really going to come through. So I ended up doing about 3 coats on it. So really wanted to make sure that that kind of gave it this spacey sci-fi look. And then, like we did before, we're just going to kick in a dope editing trick to move us on to the next taping part. And there, look, all the purple's covered. We did it. It took no time at all, guys. No, it was very annoying, trust me. So we're going to go ahead and just start painting over top of the areas here that we had covered. So let's just go ahead and start getting the silver on here. Now we're going to add a little bit of this, the black to the metallic, and what that's going to do is it's going to give us something to use on like the metal machine parts. So like the cockpit, the engine area, the guns, like stuff like that. That's really going to be able to give them kind of that factory polished machine look that we're kind of going for in this realistic look here. Just going to get these parts that we painted before. I decided rather than the shiny silver on those parts, I'm going to make them more of the gunmetal because I thought that would look kind of cool. So yeah, we're just painting those in the cockpit here. And also getting a little bit of the underneath of where the guns are, because there's that's where the gun sits. And then we're going to get in here where the engine area is and paint around, but you know, you don't want to paint too much because there is some kind of cool light blue, like faded, like airbrush inside there that looks like the thrusters. I don't really have anything that would be able to make that look any better, so I want to make sure I leave that. Now let's go ahead and get all this paint off of here. And something unfortunately that I'm about to realize is the paint did not seal as well as I wanted. So that right side there, you can see it's a little uneven. So I'm gonna try to touch it up a little bit and see if I can kind of fix it. Alright, so we just let that dry a little bit, and now we are ready to do our acrylic wash. So we are just covering everything on this ship with this soupy black metallic silver and water mixture. And it's really just a 2-step process. You're just covering and wiping, and just everywhere you can get this stuff. You want to get it because this is what's going to do the weathering for you. This is what's going to make this Star Wars ship look Star Warsy. Just wiping and washing. That's all you do. And you're really looking around at it, like, and just kind of inspecting it as you go, and just saying like, oh, you know, I can make this area pop a little bit more. So you just kind of cover it in this area, and like, oh, this isn't really sticking to this area, so maybe you leave it on there a little bit longer on this part. And I've said this a million times whenever we've done one of these, but weathering is all about just screwing something up and then trying to fix it.
All right, that's it. Try it.
And that's all we're doing. We're just trying to fill in these little grooves with some of this acrylic wash, and like you see right there, it's really bringing out the details, and it's giving it like these tarnished looks, and it's making it look like a ship that's not brand new. Like this ship has fought in a few battles, and it's got the marks to prove it. I'm going to try to do a little bit here. Like, I typically don't paint the window with it, so I figure if I just do it very quickly, I wanted to make it look a little grungy around like the outside of the windows, just like maybe some dirt and grime that's come from like exiting and entering different atmospheres and stuff like that. You kind of see it a little bit there. Gives a little bit of a fade, and you know, make sure that the glass just doesn't stand out as too pristine on the ship, because you don't want anything to look like out of place. You want it to look like it all matches each other. Now I'm kind of just painting underneath these flaps here, kind of giving them more of a weathered look, like I want it to look like, you know, these vents have been kind of grimy and gunky too. So now we're going to be working on the blaster mark. Now, the blaster mark did not remain in the final product. I just was not happy with it. It didn't turn out the way I wanted to. It kind of just made it look dirty, and not in a good way. Like weathering, it will look dirty, but it looks like a cool dirty. This just looked like grimy, and I think probably because I was going with the color change purple, and like that was like the biggest feature of this plane, and adding the blaster bolt kind of just took over that whole wing to the point that the purple that was there didn't do anything, and it just kind of, you know, it didn't really give it a cool look. So I decided eventually to paint back over it once I finished, because it worked. Like it's definitely fun. Like I will say, you know, if you're painting a ship, it's a lighter color, try this out. And if you don't have an airbrush, like if you have an airbrush, use that. But if you just want to get like a cool blaster mark with just some acrylic paint, yeah, you're just literally dabbing on that spot. And you're putting some black stuff there over top of the purple stuff.
Hey, we got some soda. OJ, purple stuff.
I want that purple stuff.
And wiping it away. And it basically what it's supposed to do is it's going to stick more to the outsides, because you put the thick black paint on the area, wait about 30 seconds, and then wipe away. It doesn't really get a chance to fully like soak into the middle, so you're kind of keeping the outside dark while you're keeping like the inside kind of faded. And that eventually, after doing it multiple times, like it is definitely a long process, but after doing it multiple times, it will slowly start to resemble a blaster mark. But like I said, it works way better on the lighter colored ships. This one just made it look kind of gross, I guess. Yeah, I'm still just working right away there, trying to get that blaster mark to work, and I got very lucky on how well the blaster marks ended up working on the N1. Like, they look perfect. but like this one, it was stubborn. But another thing that I'm also doing here while trying to do the blaster mark is I'm also kind of doing the same process on the tips of the guns. I'm putting heavy black paint on the very tips and then kind of wiping towards the cockpit. That way it kind of fades in and it gives it more of a recently fired like blaster guns type look. I'm still not giving up. Like, I still want that blaster mark to work, and I was trying hard at it. I mean, you can kind of see what I was going for, but I mean, you can also kind of see how it wasn't going. It just wasn't doing what I wanted to. It didn't work as good as the N1. And it's just hard to get that level of detail that the N1 gave me, just because that whole area is just darker. And once you start kind of putting all that layers of black paint, it just makes it darker. And you don't have enough light parts to really kind of make that blaster mark look more detailed. Now what I'm doing, I got actually a sponge that I dipped in just a little bit of the silver paint, and I'm actually dry brushing now. So just little areas here. I'm making this look like the paint has been like scratched off, like it's like taken like some rubs like here and there, and kind of taken off part of the purple paint. So here in the back where the stripes are, I'm kind of fading them at the edges. Those purple flaps on the front, I'm kind of bringing it across there. And that's kind of the cool thing about dry brushing. Dry brushing is really dope, the way it just kind of grabs onto the details that it needs to grab onto. So yeah, we're just kind of getting little spots like around the cockpit, make it look chipped. Like look at there, you can see just kind of where all the paint's faded. And then we're just gonna get our little guys up here and get them back in the ship, and that's pretty much it, guys. We're done. Mace, do you have anything you want to say?
This party's over.
Guys, there you have it. I absolutely love doing these things. They're just fun, they're relaxing, and I kind of like how they turn out. I'll give you guys a little bit closer look here, how Mace turned out. You see that silver just really kind of pops, and then the blue that kind of comes off of that purple with the color shift, and then also with, you know, the black lines and everything that kind of is brought out with that acrylic wash. So yeah, this was a lot of fun to do, and like I said, I got more that I'm planning on doing. You guys see here, it was kind of that silver I was telling you guys about, where it kind of looks like it was rubbed off. Yeah. So, like I said, I plan on doing like a few more of these. They're a lot of fun to do. So just kind of keep on the lookout for them. And a lot more videos coming. We're getting closer and closer to ICC Con, so we're going to be doing a lot more promoting for that. We have our podcast, Archives of the Empire. It's every other Tuesday. We'll be starting to do watch parties for both getting ready for the Revenge of the Sith re-release, and then also we'll be doing some stuff for Andor. So just keep watching, like and subscribe, click the bell for notifications. I'll be pumping out a lot more videos for you guys, and may the Force be with you. Have a great one, guys.